Hi friends, what's up? It's Jaime here. Welcome back to another video. So as you might remember, in March 2022, or approximately March of 2022, I don't remember exactly, I uploaded a video about my 2022 vision board, and I really enjoyed making that vision board. I had never made a vision board before, and so I kind of decided that I wanted to make this like a yearly thing. Obviously, when I got the idea to do it in 2022, it was already a little bit past like the beginning of the year, but now I want to do this like going forward every year in the month of January, make a video about my vision board for the year, because while I'm not really a New Year's Eve or I guess New Year's resolutions kind of person, I like pictures. No, but seriously, I really do enjoy making vision boards. I really like having the visual representations of my goals for the year, and I definitely feel like my vision board for this year is a lot more focused. I wouldn't say that my vision board from last year was like awful or anything. Like I feel like it was pretty decent for my first time making one. And I feel weird about saying like there's a wrong way to make a vision board, because it's a vision board. But I feel like just this one is a lot better geared towards realistic goals for me this year, and it's all they all kind of go together in a more just like cohesive way, if that makes sense. So just like with my last vision board video, I'm going to show you guys the full vision board, and then I'm going to take you guys through each picture and what it means. This video is also going to be where I'm going to give you guys the full scoop of what is next for Mission to Mars. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Here is the vision board. It is somewhere on the screen. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put it, so I don't know, maybe it's here, maybe it's here, maybe it's in the middle. I don't know yet, but it's here, it's somewhere on the screen. This is what it looks like. I made it using Canva. I also used Canva to make my vision board from last year. I just typed in like vision board, like template, and I just picked one that I liked. I'm not sure whether I like this one, like this format template, better than the one from last year. I'm still a little undecided on that, but I really do like this one as well as the like the format, or I guess template is a better word for the one from last year. But I really like how this one turned out. Now we're gonna start with the picture labeled concert. I do like that about this vision board, that each kind of picture kind of has like its own little label. But yeah, so we're gonna start with the one labeled concert, and this picture is one that I got from the internet of Sabrina Carpenter's Emails I Can't Send tour. I've mentioned this before on the channel, but I'm a really big fan of Sabrina Carpenter, and I just absolutely adore her album Emails I Can't Send. I think it's honestly probably my favorite of her albums that she's ever released ever, which is really great for me because in May of this year, me and one of my best friends are going to see Sabrina Carpenter in concert as a part of the second leg of her Emails I Can't Send tour. And y'all, I literally cannot be more excited. I am so excited. I already have like ideas for like my outfit and my makeup. Like I'm so excited. I realize that this portion of the vision board might be a little bit misleading, because it might be like, oh, like are you trying to like, is it your goal to like get the tickets for the concert? No, we already have the tickets, like we are already for sure going. This part of the vision board is more like to kind of try to manifest and channel good vibes so that I won't get sick when I go to the concert, both from COVID but also from my vertigo. Obviously it's a concert, and also just from some videos that I've seen like that people have posted from the Emails I Can't Send tour, I know that for some of the songs on the set, like there's going to be flashing lights, and flashing lights are really not great for me. They trigger my vertigo, which is very unpleasant. So I'm really trying to just trying to, you know, put out good vibes into the universe that hopefully I won't get sick when I go to this concert, because it's like, you know, even if I have to like keep my eyes closed for certain portions of the concert, like I'm really excited to go. I really don't want to get sick, but so I also kind of put this as like a reminder to like kind of take some preventative measures to like make sure I don't get sick, like taking some aspirin before I go or like whatever, and also like again like maybe closing my eyes during some parts of the set. Yeah, this is really just me kind of praying that like everything will go well for me health-wise, because again, I'm so excited to go to this concert. I love Sabrina Carpenter. Like there are not many artists that I would really care about seeing live, but she is like one of the ones that I'm like, oh my god, like to see her live is just like such a dream come true. So I really want to enjoy myself and not like feel ill afterwards. So, you know, we gotta do everything we can to make sure we don't get sick. I'm gonna be wearing my mask and taking like all my COVID precautions, and I'm gonna take aspirin, so hopefully I don't feel sick like vertigo wise throughout or after the concert. But yeah, we're just channeling good vibes. Moving on, we are going to talk about the picture that is labeled Mission to Mars. And if you couldn't tell, I am very, very excited about this one. I'm really excited because I feel like I've just been talking about like, I have an update, and I just kept like pushing it back and be like, I promise I have this update, but I just didn't want to like go into full detail until like make like an official video about it. So we're finally going to talk about what's going on with Mission to Mars, which I'm so excited about. So a little background for anyone who might be new to the channel and is like, what the hell are you talking about when I keep mentioning this Mission to Mars thing? Mission to Mars is a fantasy adventure series that I've been working on for almost 8 years now. The picture I'm using here also for the vision board is a portion of my Pinterest board that I have for one of the characters from Mission to Mars. I wrote a little synopsis here for Mission to Mars, which I've actually written a couple of synopses throughout the course of like creating Mission to Mars, but I feel like this is probably the best one I've written so far, which I mean it isn't really saying that much because I suck at writing synopses. It's my least favorite part. It is my least favorite part of like the pitching like process, is like having to write like a synopsis. Like I'm really bad at condensing like what like the full story is in like only like a couple of sentences. Like I'm really bad at it, but I feel like this one's okay, so I'm gonna read it to you now to kind of give you guys what the full picture is of Mission to Mars. The story of Mission to Mars is set in the fictional world of Renea and follows the people of the Kingdom Harmonia 9 years after a devastating war with enemy Kingdom Mars that wreaked havoc on the kingdom and the survivors, only for some Harmonians, particularly Delilah DeClaire and Mira Griffin, to discover that the war may not be as over as they originally have been led to believe. Mission to Mars is going to combine elements of an audio drama, but with visuals and a little bit of animation, and the setting is medieval inspired, but with magic and fairies. Originally, about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess at this point, I foolishly believed that Mission to Mars was ready to move into like further pre-production / production stages that it was not ready for. I was very young and inexperienced, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of looked at things from the view as like a writer and didn't really understand like what it really means to like create a series fully. So I was wildly not ready or prepared to fully move forward with Mission to Mars. Also, just from like the storytelling perspective, like in recent years that I've been working on Mission to Mars, I've made some huge changes to how the story was, again, like from 4 or 5 years ago, that without these changes, I feel like that Mission to Mars would have been sorely lacking if I had decided to move forward with it, again, like 4 or 5 years ago. But now that I've made those changes, and now that I'm a little older and a little bit more experienced, I know a little bit more of what I'm doing, and most importantly, I have a little money saved up, I feel much more confident and comfortable with moving Mission to Mars along to the production stages. Now, I don't have a date for when Mission to Mars will officially launch. However, I do have a rough estimate of when the pilot episode will be released. As I mentioned in my What to Expect for 2023 video, my school, the college that I go to, we have this thing where every student has to present a senior project. It is a graduation requirement. Now, senior projects look different for everyone depending on your major, but for me, as a playwriting and screenwriting major, we are presented with 3 options for our senior projects. As a playwriting and screenwriting major, you can either write a full-length play, a full-length screenplay, or a couple of episodes of a series. And as you might have guessed, I'm going to be writing a couple of episodes for a series for my senior project. More specifically, I'm going to be writing the first couple of episodes of Mission to Mars. Technically, I already have the first 2 episodes of Mission to Mars like fully written. However, the senior project process, although I don't really know that much, I can't say that much because I haven't experienced it yet, but from what I understand, it's a very heavy like revision, like rewriting process. So these episodes might look completely different, and they probably will look very different by the end of the senior project process. So even though I have them written, who knows if they're if they're even gonna look like the way they look now by the time we get to the end of the senior project. But yeah, so technically I'm not writing them completely from scratch, but they are going to be heavily probably rewritten throughout this whole process. And also, I don't really know what they mean when they say a couple of episodes. If I had to guess what they want, is they probably want 3. I feel like 3 is probably like the magic number. So yeah, so it'd be like the first 2 episodes that I have, and then the 3rd episode. I can't imagine they'd probably want more, just because it's like, I feel like 3 episodes kind of equates to like a full-length screenplay on their own. So I feel like 3 is probably the number that we're going to be going for, at least that I'm going to be going for. Now, I'm already anticipating that there are probably going to be some bumps in the road as far as my proposal for my senior project goes. Most likely, if I had to guess, what I'm sure the main things will be are probably episode length, and then the title, Mission to Mars itself. But I'm already prepared to make some alterations where needed, especially for the title, because, okay, so I know that there's a movie called Mission to Mars, or at least I think it's a movie, but it's from a couple, by a couple I mean it's probably like 20 years ago now? I forget exactly. So I know that exists, but when I checked to see what like copyrights are registered, it didn't seem like the copyrighted Mission to Mars like had been registered. It seemed like all the ones that had been attempted were either abandoned or rejected. So it's like, I think I can still use the title Mission to Mars, but you know, I feel like just in case, I should probably tack something on to the end of it, and I'm prepared to. Like, I have something picked out to tack on to the end of Mission to Mars, so it'd be Mission to Mars, and then like probably like a colon, and then like the rest of it, the rest of the title. You know, so like how there's Avatar, and there's Avatar: The Last Airbender, so something like that. Like, that's how that would go, because, you know, not trying to get sued. So basically, I'm going to write and revise the first 3 episodes of Mission to Mars, and that will act as like the first part of my senior project, and then the second part, at least what I hope will happen, I can't make any promises for certain, but what I hope will happen is to then cast people in the roles for the first episode, for the pilot episode of Mission to Mars, and then do a staged reading of that, which would then be filmed, and again, like, act as the pilot episode that I would upload onto this channel. But if I can't do that while I'm on campus, my backup plan for that is to then pay some of my actor friends here at home to read for the roles and then film that. Also, before anyone asks, or if anyone's curious, I feel like I'm going to be lucky if I get enough like actors to do 1 episode of Mission to Mars, much less 3, because, you know, everybody's busy, everybody else is a student, they're all gonna be working on their own like senior projects or just other things, and so I don't want to like, I'm not so arrogant or naive to assume that it's like everyone's gonna be able to drop everything so that they can do like staged readings for all 3 of like the first episodes of Mission to Mars. Like, my project is not the only one that's going to be happening during this time on campus. So, you know, I feel like we'll be lucky if we get the staged reading on campus, but if not, again, I do have a backup plan to make sure that that still happens. So my estimated air date for the pilot episode of Mission to Mars is sometime in May of 2024, since that's my senior year of college. In the meantime, towards the end of this year, I'm really excited about this, I'm gonna start releasing some videos where I basically kind of go into the process of making Mission to Mars. I'm gonna show you guys the characters and the art, the music, all that kind of stuff. And so I absolutely cannot wait for you guys to see just like this whole process and to bring you on this process with me, because I feel like I've just kind of been talking about Mission to Mars so loosely for so long, but now I'm actually going to have something to show for it. Speaking of the art, I'm going to be commissioning some people over the summer to do some updated art for Mission to Mars, because it's been a while since any new art has been done for Mission to Mars at all. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to like do like a, oh my god, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of like, what is the artist equivalent of a casting call? you know what I'm talking about, like something like that. Or if I'm gonna message people directly, I might go directly to certain, because I have some people in mind who I want to make like direct commissions from, but I will let you guys know if there are any I guess like slots available. But yeah, there is a lot of exciting content coming from Mission to Mars in the later months of this year, and I can't I don't fully have the words to express to you just how excited I am. Like I'm just so overjoyed to finally like have something to show you guys, like after all of these years, after like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this project, and I just cannot wait for you guys to finally be able to experience a little bit of it. Hello friends, as you might be able to tell by the lighting, how the lighting has changed since the last clip. I filmed the first part of this video yesterday, and am now filming the second part of this video today, just due to scheduling conflicts, which, I mean, obviously this makes no difference for you guys because it's all one video, it's all the same video, but for me, a day has since passed since the last clip, but we're gonna keep talking about the vision board now. Okay, so next I'm gonna do basically a 2-in-1 and talk about TikTok and Shorts in one go, since they're pretty much related. And so you might have noticed, if you've been watching my videos recently, I've talked about this a little bit, that I have recently decided to revive my second channel. If you don't know, I have a second channel. It used to be called Raven Elizabeth. I've now rechanged the name to be Jaime Lazar, which is my actual name. And that will be linked down below in the description if you want to go check that out. But I've recently decided to resurrect that channel and have that be where I primarily post my YouTube shorts. These shorts come from my TikTok, which is also at Jaime Lazar, and they've been doing pretty well on my second channel. Now, my goals for TikTok and Shorts for this year are mainly just to keep posting them, but I don't just want to post them on TikTok and my second channel. I also kind of want to start incorporating shorts back into my main channel content, because I have actually posted a couple of shorts on this channel. Not very many, I think I have like 3 up right now, but they've all done pretty well, and they also do really well on my second channel, the shorts that I've posted thus far on that channel. And that's not super surprising, because the thing is, something you'll hear a lot if you are somebody who like wants to make content on YouTube and you want to grow on YouTube, something you'll hear a lot from people inevitably is post shorts, make shorts, shorts do really well, shorts are the way to go. Like that's kind of the whole spiel that you'll get, and they are right. That's not like a faulty, you know, strategy or method or anything, because like with any social media platform, when they roll out a new feature that is basically designed to compete with their competitors, you know, so for YouTube, we have YouTube Shorts, that's to compete with TikTok and Instagram Reels. And so now that that feature has been rolled out, YouTube wants to promote it. They want it to do better, essentially, than like TikTok and Instagram Reels. And so they'll basically reward you for using Shorts by pushing. They'll kind of boost you a little bit more. They'll boost that content. They'll promote that content more than long form videos. Not that you can't still make long form videos, it's just that your shorts will get a lot more attention like quicker. That's basically kind of how that works. The bottom line is that shorts do help with growth on YouTube, so I do want to start utilizing them to help grow this channel. And no one needs to worry that I'm going to like completely like transfer over to short form content, or that shorts are gonna like completely overtake this channel, because they're not. Like, truth be told, I don't really love shorts. Don't tell the big YouTube I said that. But I'm personally like, here's the thing, I like making my silly little TikToks like every now and then. Like, I do have fun making my TikToks, I'm not gonna say that I don't. However, when it comes to just like making videos as a whole, I really do much prefer to make long form videos, because I talk a lot and I ramble. And so long form videos here, where I'm just like sitting down and like talking to the camera, like this is my jam. Like I love to do this. Like this is my favorite part of like making videos. Like, you know, like I really enjoy long form content. So no one needs to worry that shorts are going to completely invade this channel, but I do want to start posting them a bit more frequently. And I really just like want to, my biggest goal with shorts on this channel is I want them to reflect the content that I have on this channel specifically, and not just be like, because on my second channel it's kind of me just kind of reposting the same TikToks that I'm like posting on my TikTok, you know, so that's kind of just like directly carrying that over. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do that. Like there are so many creators who do just that. But I definitely want the specific shorts that I post onto this channel to really reflect the content that I'm making on this channel. Because in the long run, while I do want to grow this channel after all, like if I'm going to be showing you guys Mission to Mars, which is a series that I'm going to be like primarily financing myself, I want as many people to see it as possible, you know? Here's the thing, I'm going in with the expectation that, you know, again, given my channel size, it's not like the whole world is going to see this series. I mean, if the whole world does see the series, that'd be crazy and honestly amazing. But, you know, I'm going in with the expectations that it's not going to be that many people, but I'd like to reach as many people as I possibly can because it's a project that I've put so much like heart and soul into, so I want a lot of people to be able to see it. So that's why I do want to grow my channel, and I feel like utilizing shorts will kind of help me to achieve that. But again, you know, it's like in the long run, at the end of the day, while I do want to utilize shorts, I still want to stay true to like what this channel is about, which is at the end of the day, you know, me like talking about my experiences with screenwriting and rambling on about all the nerdy shit that I love, you know? So I don't want to lose sight of that just to like, you know, chase channel growth. So I promise that that's not gonna happen. I already have my content schedule like pretty much mapped out for my TikTok and my second channel for this year, but I'm still working on figuring out exactly which shorts I want to post to this channel, because again, I do want them to be tailored to the content that I make on this channel. I want them to blend in well. I don't want them to feel jarring and be like, what is this? You know, I want it to still kind of be a reflection of like what I would usually make on this channel, but just like in a short form kind of style. So I'm still trying to figure that out. That's been a little tricky. So hopefully y'all will bear with me as I figure that out, but that's definitely kind of like a big goal that I'm trying to like work towards throughout this year. And I also want to grow my TikTok and my second channel, so if you aren't already following me over there, my TikTok is at Jaime Lazar and my second channel is at Jaime Lazar. Again, it'll be down below in the description of this video. And lastly, this one is a bit more of a personal goal, but let's talk about the picture that's labeled other projects. Now, I think I've mentioned this before on this channel, but honestly it's been so long that I really don't remember. But basically I've been working on some other projects alongside Mission to Mars. These projects are also fantasy adventure series. I never know like how to say the plural of series. Some bordering more on magical realism than others, and a lot of them were originally like the original ideas were conceived like around the same time I first started working on Mission to Mars. And now you might be asking yourself, Jamie, doesn't that sound kind of counterintuitive? Like, why wouldn't you just work on Mission to Mars? Why wouldn't you just focus on Mission to Mars? Don't you have enough work to do with that already? And that's a fair question and a fair point. But my answer to that question is that although this might sound kind of backwards, working on multiple projects at once kind of helps me to counteract burnout, and I'm gonna explain why. Because here's the thing, right? Mission to Mars is almost always at the forefront of my mind. Even when I'm not like actively working on it, I'm always thinking about it, you know? But sometimes I don't want to be working on Mission to Mars like 24/7. Who would have thunk it? And again, I love it. I love Mission to Mars. I love it so dearly, but I never want to get to the point where I overwork myself to the point where it's like Mission to Mars isn't enjoyable to me anymore, because, you know, I'm investing a lot of my time and my energy into this, and I don't want that all to go to waste because I fall out of love with it due to overworking myself. What really helps me to prevent the onset of burnout, or to kind of reduce the burnout if it's already come, is to step back from the thing that's causing me the burnout and to do something different, to mix things up a little bit. So for example, if I'm experiencing writer's block when it comes to Mission to Mars, it's really good for me to kind of like, okay, take a break from Mission to Mars, because I'll kind of get into this like routine of like I'll go like a long stretch of time like working on like Mission to Mars like primarily, but inevitably after a while I'll like hit some kind of roadblock, like some specific scene is tripping me up, or it might be a specific like character storyline that's giving me trouble, and it's like, okay, sometimes I just need to really like step back and like kind of let myself decompress. But when I say decompress, I have like it's very hard for me personally to like truly like rest. Like my mind, it's always going, like it is always going, and because I'm a writer, I'm always thinking about writing shit, you know? So it's like, even if I'm burnt out with Mission to Mars, I'm probably then thinking about like one of my other projects. So it's like, okay, so then I will shift gears to that project, because that will kind of allow me to still do something creative while taking a break from Mission to Mars, so I don't like fall out of love with that project because I'm like pushing myself too hard. Anyway, this is pretty much just a long-winded explanation way for me to say that this section of my vision board is really just to signify my goal to take breaks from Mission to Mars when needed and shift gears when needed to other projects, in order for me to not like overdo it to the point where I fall out of love with this project. Also, it really does bring me so much joy to be working on these other projects, so I want, part of this goal is also to delegate some more time to specifically work on these projects, because for me they aren't just supposed to be like backups to Mission to Mars. They are just like, they're their own like what will eventually be like fully fleshed projects, but they're just kind of, they're definitely behind in terms of like development when compared to Mission to Mars, but I still really love working on them, and so I really want to make sure that I really do remember to make time for them this year, and not just to like escape burnout. Also, I forgot to mention it, but the picture that I used for this section of the vision board is from one of the Pinterest boards that I have for one of my characters that isn't from Mission to Mars. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not really a New Year's resolutions kind of person myself personally, but if any of you guys have made any goals for this year, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Once again, that is all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I upload Wednesdays and Fridays, except when I don't, and sometimes on Saturdays, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.